Hello, this is Trevor from Telecom Training, and in this video, I'll explain how cable modems work. We'll explore how data travel from the internet through the cable provider's network, and finally to the subscriber's modem. We'll also look at the DOCSIS standard and how cable companies use fiber optic technology to deliver high-speed communication. So let's get started. Now, data from the internet travels along this fiber optic cable into the ISP's router. This ISP's router is located at the headend. This is the broadband network central hub. This is what we call a headend. And on the output of this ISP's router is an Ethernet cable. It's a 10 gigabit Ethernet feed. It's connected directly to CMTS. CMTS stands for Cable Modem Termination System. Now, the data for all of the subscribers travel along this cable. When it gets to the CMTS, it is combined and then modulated using a DOCSIS standard. Then it is sent to the single fiber optic cable, which connects the CMTS to the fiber node. Now, the distance between these 2 points is generally between 5 miles and 25 miles, or 8 kilometers and 40 kilometers. Once this data gets to the fiber node, which would be a light signal since this is a fiber optic cable, it has to be converted back to an electrical signal. Your data is converted to an electrical RF signal and then sent out onto the coaxial cable to the individual subscriber modems. A city with about 1.2 million subscribers would typically require 3 to 4 headends. Each headend serves an area ranging from roughly 200,000 to 300,000 subscribers. Now, when internet data is sent from the router onto that 10 gigabit Ethernet cable, it is a long string of ones and zeros. When the CMTS receives this information, it breaks it up into smaller packets. Now, one packet at a time is sent from the CMTS to your modems. And each one of these packets may not belong to the same subscriber. The CMTS knows what the IP address is for each one of these packets. This first one here, we have the source IP and the destination IP written under here. But the CMTS does not talk to your modems with the IP address. It talks with the MAC address. So what it needs to do at this point is to go into another database and cross-reference the destination IP, which is the IP address of your modem that this information here is supposed to be sent to. And once it gets that MAC address, it will send it back to the CMTS. Now, once the customer has been identified and you got your MAC address, the next step is to take this information here, which is a packet, and you're going to place it in a frame. I like to explain a frame in a way that most people would understand. Basically, a frame is if we take this information here, which is the packet, and put it into an envelope, and you seal that envelope and you wrote the MAC address on the outside. It's just like taking a letter that you just wrote and you put in an envelope and you put your mailing address on that envelope. This is exactly what this is. You take your information here, your data, your source IP address and your destination IP address. You don't need that right now, so you put it in here. All you need is your mailing address or the address of your modem, and that is exactly what this is here. Your MAC address is the address of your modem. So what I have written over here are the channels that this information is going to be sent on. I'm using DOCSIS 3.0 for this example. We have DOCSIS 3.1 and DOCSIS 4 as well, but on this example, I'm using DOCSIS 3.0. So we have 32 channels for DOCSIS 3.0 from channel 1 right up to channel 32. And each one of these channels occupy a space of 6 megahertz. And we can send 38 megabits of data over each one of these channels. So as I have written down here, the downstream total bandwidth is 32 channels times 6 megahertz. So that's 192 megahertz from channel 1 right up to channel 32. 32 channels, 6 megahertz each, carrying 38 megabits of data. So you have 1.2 gigabits of data across all channels. So from channel 1 to channel 32, you have 1.2 gigabits of data. And I have under here, modern modems have 8, 16, 24, 32 channels. You can go out and buy a modem that has 4 channels. I don't have 4 written here, but you can buy a modem that has 4 channels, 8 channels, 16 channels, 24 channels, or 32 channels. Now, and so if you bought a modem that only has 4 channels, you can only send data out onto 4 channels. And now, of course, you will have to buy a package that gives you access to 4 channels of bandwidth, which is 24 megahertz of bandwidth. Now, that would be 38 megabits of data times 4, which would be 152 megabits of data that you would have access to. If you did a speed test, you'll see that your data rate should be 152 megabits per second because you have access to these 4 channels. Now, if you have access to 8 channels, you will have a data rate of 304 megabits per second, 16 channels, 608 megabits per second, or if you have access to all 32 channels, you will have 1.2 gigabits of data on the download. I'm sure you know this, that cable is a shared service. So even if you have access to all 32 channels, you're paying for all 32 channels. It doesn't mean that you're going to get all 32 channels all the time. You may get it early in the morning, like 4 a.m. when nobody else is using the internet, but when other people are on it, it's going to be reduced, and this reduction all depends on how many people are using it. Of course, cable companies are pretty good. They try not to put too many people on one particular network so that it's all balanced out, so you get a reasonable amount of bandwidth each and every hour of the day. But you know, it all depends on how well it is balanced. In the last slide, we talked about the fact that we send our data, which is in the form of packets, from the router. And we talked about the fact that these are a long string of zeros and ones, and the CMTS break them all up into smaller packets. And each packet has a source and destination IP address associated with it. But the CMTS talks to the modems out in the field over here with the MAC address. So once we get the MAC address, we will put the IP packet into an envelope, and seal that envelope and have the MAC address on the outside of that envelope. That's how we describe what a frame is. And this frame is called a DOCSIS frame. And in this case, we were looking at DOCSIS 3.0, which has 32 channels. We talked about the fact that a customer could have a modem with 4, 8, 16, 24, or 32 channels. And if they buy all 32 channels, they may be able to send on all 32 channels at some time early in the morning. But there's no guarantee. As you know, the cable service is shared. So you have the option of purchasing 4, 8, 16, 24, 32 channels. And whatever the available bandwidth may be, you'll be able to send your frames out over those particular channels. And it will be on a fiber optic link. So this will be an optical signal. And this optical signal carry your frame to the fiber node. And in this fiber node, we have a media converter that converts your optical signal to an electrical RF signal, before distributing it over the coaxial cable to the modems. The coaxial cable backbone after the fiber node is where individual subscribers connect. Now, this backbone cable is a bit different from a regular RG6 or RG11 cable. It's a very high capacity cable and is called hardline. And the way it is made is that the outer conductor, instead of a braided shield like the RG6 or RG11, it is made of solid aluminum or copper, and the middle conductor is much thicker. Now, in order for individual subscribers to connect to this hardline, we have something called a tap, which is connected to the line, and then individual subscribers' cables, RG6 or RG11 cable, will be connected to this tap. Now this is what the taps connected to the lines look like. Now this is the tap from the back, and these are the two connection points where you will connect the backbone cable. So you'll connect them right here. One side will be in and the other side will be out. And if we should look at the front of the tap, we have the connections here where the customer's RG6 or RG11 cable will be connected. Now we see 23 dB here. What this simply means is that every tap that's located out there in the field has a different dB level, and it all depends on how close it's located to the node or an amplifier. The closer it is located to the node or an amplifier, the higher the dB level would be. The further it is away, the lower the dB level will be. Here we have a fiber node connected to the coaxial cable, and we have a tap, and this tap is 23 dB, and we have the customers connected to this tap. You see the RG11 or RG6 cable all connected to the tap. Now you'll notice this tap is 23 dB. That is because it is very close to the fiber node. As we move further away, you see the dB level drop to 8 dB here, and even further away it is 4 dB at this point. Now here we have a tap working in the field, and we have two drop wires connected and going to customers' homes. This would be an RG6 or an RG11 for both of them. Now you'll notice we have 5 ports, but only 2 of them have connections. The other one's got a plug in there. And I just want to mention that when these ports are not in use, there's a 75 ohm termination plug that is put into these ports. And this plug stops the signal from being reflected back, because if it is reflected back, it would cause problems with network communication. Now these are DOCSIS frames that were sent from the fiber node out to the customer's modems. Now you'll notice that each one of these frames got different MAC addresses, and each one of the modems here got a different MAC address as well. So these modems would only accept a frame that has the same MAC address. It will see all of the frames that pass by, but none of them would be accepted unless the MAC address on the DOCSIS frame is the same as the MAC address that the modem has. This is Trevor from Telecom Training. Thank you for watching, and if this video was helpful to you, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and click on notification as well so that you'll be notified as soon as our new videos are released.